Welcome back to the Realm of Alignment, where we unlock the body's hidden codes. Collective, happy Saturn Day. Yesterday, we had a beautiful day. Yesterday was a celebration of Friday the 13th. And the last Friday 13th that we had was when the world changed, which was March 13th, 2020. And yesterday, we revisited the energy. And usually people look at Friday the 13th as bad luck, but really, Friday the 13th is a divine number. It is a number of divinity because it adds up to one. It adds up to four. One plus three is four. And it creates the energy of balance, of union, um, of divinity, um, of equality. So it's a day to find yourself in perfect alignment with self care, your goals, your focus, and whatever your tunnel vision is about. That's what Friday the 13th supports. And it's also, um, because it's Friday, it was also Venus Day. So it was very much focused and centered around divine feminine energy. I saw a lot of the esoteric community talking about, and a lot of the feminines were taking care of themselves, taking beauty baths, and just doing all the good things that support self-care. But that is not what our video is about today. Today, our video is about last week's continuation. Like I said, I was coming back to do a part two of last week's video, which we know was we talked about insanity over sovereignty. So that week, we were focused on finding our tools, discovering our tools, and learning about what it is that you have cultivated from the experiences you've had in your life. So, focusing in on the questions that I left on that video, the shadow work questions, um, should definitely help you come a little closer to understanding where it is that you have obtained some tools, identified some tools, and now we're moving forward. And if you feel like you still haven't figured that out, take your time. This is no rush. I'm making these videos because I have a schedule, but you don't have to rush week after week. You can literally take your time, come back to the videos, rewatch them as much as you need to, and work through finding your tools for as long as you need to take to find them. Okay. So if you have completed that first segment of discovering, identifying, understanding what your tools are, which we've talked about in depth in the last video, now we can move forward into setting the intention. So this week we're going to be talking about and focusing on taking those tools and actually using them for our path, for our journey moving forward, for our new timeline, our new reality. Okay, so I have some questions here for those of you who have discovered your tools, identified your tools. First of all, congratulations. I'm so proud of you for identifying, the experiences in which you've had, especially if they were difficult experiences. You absolutely don't walk away from any situation that was difficult without tools. You always learn something. And that's what we're calling tools. The tools are the lessons that you've learned from your experiences. Um, and the wisdom you've gained from your experiences. So now, as we move forward, we take those things with us, like the wisdom, the lessons, the experiences. We take those with us, and we're calling them tools. We're using those things to now navigate this new timeline because everybody has a purpose as to why they experience what they experience. And it's your job to find out what your purpose is. So now that you have the tools, you can take that and carry yourself forward. You don't have to walk empty handed anymore. Now you have kind of like a spiritual weapon. Okay, so now as we focus on intention, I do have some things I want to start to share with you guys. First thing I want to do is a clarity exercise. Okay. Now, this clarity exercise is going to be 3 different prompts to make up one exercise. Okay. So, this is also called the sovereignty check in. And I have a question where I want to ask you guys to get your journal, take out something where you can write down this question and work through what it is that you need to work through with your pen. Not just thinking about it, but actually writing it down, actualizing it on a piece of paper. So, the first question is, where in my life do I currently feel scattered or out of control? Now, this is going to help you remove that illusion that you may be stuck in. Because what's crazy is, before I came up with this message, I was talking to my girlfriend last night, and we were just talking about how we're so excited about stepping into this new timeline and stepping into this new reality. But it does have this feeling to me personally of this Seven of Cups energy. And for those of you who don't know what that is, it's the card that can represent confusion at times. It's like all these different options, all these different choices. It could leave you feeling confused. It could leave you feeling emotionally disturbed in a sense, where it feels like I don't know what to do. And then you kind of get to this place of feeling overwhelmed with all these choices that you have. So, with this question, where in my life do I currently feel scattered or out of control? You can help to minimize and even remove that illusion that you've most likely self inflicted. You've put that upon yourself because, it's only you that has to work through the things that you're working through. It's only you that has the choices to make. You're the one that has to make those choices, so it's really self-inflicted. It's not caused by anything else. So that means if it's self-inflicted, the illusion, that means you can also remove it. You can change that. So through this question, that will support you in balancing out your energy so that you're not so much in confusion, and you can start to narrow down what it is that you need to focus on. Okay, and question 2 is, what tool do I already have that could support me here? Now, once you get yourself into the awareness of where you feel scattered, and try not to, jump into fixing it right away. Just find the awareness first. Find the awareness first. And once you find the awareness, now you're going to think about, well, what tools do I have? Some of you, it'll be meditation. Some of you, it'll be journaling. Some of you, it'll be going into nature and grounding. Some of you, it'll be prayer. Others of you, it may be exercise. It may be taking a bath. It may be, doing a fast, maybe sleeping, getting some rest. All of you have tools that you use in different ways, where you realize when you use this tool, you feel much more balance. You feel much more clarity. Some of you, it may take sitting in silence and doing absolutely nothing and just allowing yourself to be in the present moment. And that might work for you. But discover your tool after you become aware of where you are scattered. Now, when you discover your tool, you're going to use your tool. Okay. Use your tool and try to focus in on the main thing that you want to actually accomplish, actually complete, and make it simple. What's the next thing that you can do one at a time, starting at the top of your priority list, and then work your way down? Okay, so number 3 is, what is the real intention behind using this tool? Okay, now I know most people will say, well, I just want to feel better. But I want you to go deeper into what the actual intention is behind you using your tool, because your intention will come from a soul place. Like, you may say things like, well, I want to regulate my nervous system. I I have goals I want to complete, and I want to get rid of procrastination. In setting your becoming aware of what your intentions are on a very deep level in that sense, and really just digging down to understand, like, why are you going to be using your tool? That's the whole purpose of this exercise. Okay, now let's move along, because I'll spend forever on these topics. Now, number two, your exercise is called a energy exercise. Okay, this is a breath intention lock. Now, it's a 3 breath intention lock where you're going to work with your breath, of course. Okay, so you're going to breathe 3 times. Okay, you're going to inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Your first breath will be the release. You'll say something like, I release what no longer serves me. Your second breath is going to be your breath of alignment. In this breath, you can say something like, I return to my center, or I am now in alignment. And now your third breath is going to seal the deal, where you say, I set my intention. So this is your breath of intention. First, okay, is your breath of release, then your breath of alignment, and then your breath of intention. With your third breath, you can say, I clearly set my intentions with my tools. Okay. And as you complete these 3 breaths, remember, you're going to inhale, exhale, that's your release. And then you say your release. You inhale, exhale, that's your alignment. Say your alignment. Inhale, exhale, that's your intention. Set your intention. And that completes your second exercise. Now, this one is a powerful one. This is a daily sovereignty contract exercise with yourself. Okay, this is a power exercise, and this is going to be one that really helps you lock in this exercise, because you're going to be setting intentional focus on your daily routine in moving forward with your tools and your intention. This is going to call forward your dedication, your self devotion. Because once you start this, it is something that will be very long term or become a lifestyle. But it will really depend on how devoted you are to your new reality and to shifting into your new timeline. So, this is where the challenge will happen. Okay, this third exercise here. So this is what you will say or write down each morning. I'm going to give you a mantra on the screen, and you can say this out loud or write it every morning if you can hold it better by writing it down each time instead of saying it each time. So the mantra is, today I choose sovereignty over insanity. Today I will use my tools intentionally. My energy moves where my intention directs it. Okay. Now, for each day, to simplify this exercise is not to overdo it. Don't think that you have to choose 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 tools that you figure it out to use all at once. Choose one tool each day, even if you've discovered 6. For some reason, I'm seeing the 6 of Wands. You may have 6 tools. Maybe some of you guys did come up with 6 tools. And if you find yourself with 6 tools, choose one tool a day and maybe rotate between those tools and see how they work for you. And then create maybe even a ranking for them to say, okay, this tool works best in when I'm in this energy. This tool works best when I'm in that energy. You know what I mean? And then just like put it down on a piece of paper and keep that in a kind of portfolio for yourself. And something you can keep track of. It's just really important for you to understand that your tools are, I'm not talking about like magic and like anything that makes this an external thing. Your tools are genuinely your intention, because without your intention, your tools just really become habits. Okay, but with your intention set, your tools activate. They become the thing that you use on an everyday basis to take you into your next level, to give you the structure that you're looking for, the balance that you're looking for, the nervous system activation that you're looking for, the regulation that you're looking for. It's your tools involved with your intention, or should I say, it's your tools plus your intention that create your new reality. Okay. And that's how I've done it for myself. It's genuinely me taking my experiences that I've been through in my past, sitting with those experiences and seeing what I learned from these experiences and how I can take these experiences with me moving forward and sharpening the new experiences that I'm stepping into, because now I know what this looks like in the past. Now I know what I've learned from these experiences, so I can actually usher myself in with confidence now. I can usher myself in with a self inner knowing, a wisdom that I didn't have before. So now my steps are a little more ordered. You know what I mean? Like it's like you come with this self assurance, a self validation. And that's what you discovering your tools will do for you. It gives you the self validation that you don't need from the outside world. And for some of you, sitting with this energy may bring on some shame. It may bring on some guilt. It may sometimes bring on fear, but that's because the work is actually being done. That's why you feel that way. And there's nothing wrong with that, but just don't sit in the energy. Observe the energy and let it pass. And then when you get to that place of finding and discovering and identifying your tools, then now you know, okay, I have this, I can move forward now. I've obtained breath work through all of my past experiences. I feel like I've mastered that. That works for me. I'm gonna take that forward. I've maintained journaling through all my past experiences. Every time I've gone through something, I was able to write it down. I'm really good at that. Let me take that with me forward. You know, I've been really good at meditation. I've been really good at sitting in nature and balancing out my energy. I've been really good at exercising to regulate my nervous system. I'm going to take that and move forward. Those are your tools. Okay. And everybody's tools are so different. I'm actually really excited to hear what the different tools are. So please, whatever your tools are, drop it in the comments below. Share your tools. I'd love to know. I'd love to see the different tools that you guys have. I know you guys are all so powerful and you guys have all been through so much. But as the warriors of our path that we are not defeated. Okay, so we are empowered by our tools. And I'm really looking forward to seeing how you are going to use them moving forward. So that concludes our video today. I feel amazing and I pray you do as well. And before I go, I do have my 90-day to ascension workbook called the Quantum Ascension Workbook. It's on Amazon. I have the link below in the description box, so don't forget to check that out. Also, don't forget to check out my mom, dad, and cousins' channels below. They live in Toronto and they have great content for you to check out. So that's also linked below. So if you feel called to, check them out as well. Support them, subscribe, comment, you know, all the things. And like I always say, I will see you guys in the next one. I love you so much. And thank you for all of your support. And you guys take care. Peace.